everyone. Thanks for joining for the Tech Thursday with Timespro. And this is a Diwali week. I see a lot of people might be in a long vacation. And I think, today we have a topic on emerging trends in NFT and business opportunities. So today we have a speaker, Rajat Hongal. So he's basically a young and dynamic, a co-founding engineer in DeFi.co. And Rajat, first of all, thanks you for taking out your time and joining us. And for we are, I think every day, every Thursday we have this webinar session. I think this week we have a different topic in NFTs. I think a lot of our people are waiting for to get an insight from you on this particular topic. So it's over to you.
Thank you guys for arranging this event. And a little bit about me. I'm a founding engineer and acting as a CTO and as well as the co-founder at DeFi. So now it is being renamed to DeFi.io. I have been working as a full stack developer in my early days, and I have working in various industries like e-mobility solutions as well as for the academics as well as I had been freelancing, and now I have been transitioning into mainstream blockchain and building products here at DeFi.io.
Great. It's great. And I think, as I know, in fact, you were, you were earlier, you were into full stack, then you yourself turned into, as an NFT. I mean, you turned into the Web3 domain. So that is pretty, good to know that, there are a lot of people, I keep seeing, the non-tech background as well as there are people who are into full stack or, any other tech background. They want to, get into a Web3 as a blockchain specialist or, metaverse specialist. So by during the session, you can also just throw a glance how you are able to change. I mean, drastically do a career transition into this space. And definitely in the end of session, it would be great if you can also let our viewers know. I think one of your co-founder also, founder also had taken session with us. That is basically evolution of Web 3.0. It was a first session which we had done. So it was a really wonderful session, and I'm pretty sure this session it is going to be a good session, and we are looking forward for that.
Great. I mean, we were late for the party in Web3, so that is one thing which I have to say. But again, we are not that too late, but we are there, making our way through.
Yes.
I guess we can start with the session.
Yes,
I guess it can be pretty long. I don't know.
Yes.
And let's start. I hope my screen is visible.
Yes, your screen is visible.
Okay. So here we will be exploring more on the trends in the NFTs and business opportunities. And when I say trends in the NFTs, there are very specific categories that we'll be looking into. Not every NFT is going to be knocking the market out there. So that is one thing that we will be exploring here through this webinar as well. So coming to the agenda for today, we will explore why these JPEGs, PNG images are not the future of the NFTs. And we will also learn more about the NFTs, what they essentially are. And we will explore the business opportunities in finance, academics, and the normal products that we use day-to-day life. And we'll also discuss about deep dive into how this finance industry is going transitioning from traditional finance to decentralized finance. And we will also learn that can we onboard all the financial products onto this decentralized platform as well. And we will also explore one more key factor that which is going to be very revolutionary in coming future, that is NFTs as security. And coming to this NFTs and how we define these NFTs, like NFT in its full form is like non-fungible tokens, but we would really need to understand that what is fungible or what is fungibility factor here. So fungibility basically translates to the ability to be replaced by something identical, like 1 rupee of note 1 rupee coin there can be multiple number of 1 rupee coins, right? So same way goes for 10 rupee notes and 500 rupee notes. So that is one example. And a fungible token can be divided and exchanged for one another. Uh, like these are kind of a normal how the currency is being traded or the cryptocurrencies are being traded. So they are all the fungible tokens. Even our currency system, rupees, dollars, these are all fungible token systems. So coming to non-fungible token system. So basically, as you can understand from the fungibility context, so that this particular non-fungible token represents a unique item, and these items may be digital or physical, may be sneakers or the product that you use on a day-to-day basis. So these can be any of these can be a very unique item, right? So that is what we refer to as non-fungible token. And most of the cases that we use this non-fungible tokens is to verify the ownership, authenticity of the source of a product, maybe, or maybe of a digital artwork, or maybe of a property papers, right? So we you essentially use it for the ownership as well as to verify the authenticity. And these are the main key factors that should come into your mind when we say NFT, non-fungible token. So that is one thing. Let's explore some attributes of these NFTs. One thing is the indivisibility. As I said, it is just a unique item. One single piece can be unique item, and only one person can use it at a time. So this is what we mean by the indivisibility factor. And one more thing that a lot of the people, a lot of businesses are using is the scarcity. NFT projects create a lot of scarcity. Let me give you an example. There is a game, play to earn game in decentralized ecosystem called Axie Infinity. So to play that game, you need to have 3 Axie NFTs. So these Axie NFTs are costly, and again the supply is very less. So when the supply goes down and NFTs are more valuable to a person, so automatically the scarcity will drive up for many factors. Like the price of that NFT might go very high, and the trading of that NFT can be happening in very huge volumes. So this is one factor that we consider in NFTs as an attribute. Another thing coming down, uniqueness. So let's say there might be pictures of monkey, like everybody knows what is bored ape, I guess. So whenever we say there is a monkey, so the attributes might be different. Maybe may it be wearing a glass or may it be wearing a beard. So the each particular monkey will be having a very unique trait. So that is what we define this uniqueness factor in the NFT. And one more thing about this whole blockchain, as well as for same ways goes for NFTs as well as the crypto tokens, is the transparency. Whatever we do will be present on the blockchain, so anybody can go anytime and explore this, where it come from, what is happening with it, what has been done to its records, may it be changing the back image which the NFT contains. So everything is recorded. So that is one thing. And interoperability is another factor where the NFTs can be openly traded, purchased, sold across all the ledger systems. When we say ledger systems, it is nothing but different blockchain standards. So coming down to the types of the NFTs. So there are essentially 2 types of NFTs. Again, there are, as we consider the recent case, there are 4. But again, there are 2 major types of NFTs. There are ERC-721 and ERC-115. So let's deep dive into these 2 types, because these 2 types are the basis of whatever we are going to discuss. So one is the ERC-721. So this is the main factor where this fungibility comes from, non-fungibility comes from. So ERC token standard is originally proposed in 2017. So it is very recent, and it was first presented on Ethereum blockchain. So this ERC-721 is like more usable, and this standard allows all the digital collectibles like NFTs to have a very common standard. especially the unique tokens, especially the non-fungible tokens. So this is the main base for the NFT. So this NFT gives only one very unique NFT in that particular collection. Let's say I have a society and there might be 100 homes. So, and each home in that particular society can be very different. So that each home is a ERC721 NFT. So this is an example for ERC721. Now coming down to ERC1155. So this came very late. As there were need for to have, let's say I have a digital artwork and I want to uh, give it away for maybe 100 people. The same artwork. Let's say I have a promotional photo or the promotional banners or let's say event tickets. So they are pretty much same, right? So I want to give it to maybe hundreds and 200s of people, the same copy. So the main factor to consider here is again it became fungible. This whole standard ERC1155 in the NFT format, it becomes like a fungible token. So this standard is particularly created to distribute a single unique NFT to multiple people. So this is the main base for this ERC1155 token standard. Again, this token can be converted into crypto tokens as well. So that is one key unique feature that this particular standard has. So there is another topic which is pretty much trending after Vitalik made an announcement called sold bond tokens. So these tokens are not transferable. So let's say I receive an NFT and I cannot transfer it or share it with anybody. So this is the whole purpose of this particular token standard. So this is just like normal any NFT or image that you can see, but again, it cannot be transferred. And the token, of the person who holds the particular wallet which holds this particular token, it is called soul. So these kind of uh, tokens can be used to, like, let's say, distribute your degree certificates or maybe any transcripts in the future, so that it cannot be tampered with. And originally, you are the person who own it for lifelong. Nobody can own another degree certificate on behalf of your name. So this is the whole point of creating this soul bond token. So let's move on to what our main question was for this webinar. So why JPEGs are not the future of Web3 and NFT. So the thing, whenever we say NFTs, so first thing that pops up in our mind are these very crazy photos, maybe of monkeys, maybe of starships, maybe of anything else that you guys be seeing. Like, and if you search one term NFT on your Instagram as well, there might be hundreds of accounts hitting for you in the DM that there is an airdrop, there is this kind of NFT being distributed. So this whole thing is powered by these JPEGs. So this whole NFT which exists right now, 90% of them are powered by these JPEG images. But again, what we should really consider is the utilities of these NFTs. Let's say, when I say utility, uh, I need to have any use for that NFT because every touch point in the blockchain costs you some amount. So whenever I transfer the NFT, so it takes up a sum of amount from my wallet. So it has to be in the form of financial gain, not in the form of financial draining for your personal purpose. So that is one major basic financial rule that you guys should be following as well. So whenever a project you see that image is very beautiful, but again you have to think it twice. Like, do you have any use for it? Is it just a collectible? Is that collectible worth anything in the future? So these are kind of some questions that we have to be asking ourselves before buying any kind of NFT. So the current state, as I said, the price appreciation is one factor that we consider in the current state of NFTs. Let's say I bought a JPEG, like say Bored Ape Yacht Club NFT, which is selling for millions. But again, if I hold it for a month or year long, so that price will go up because of the unique NFT, as well as the scarcity of that NFT, and also the value that it holds. Over the period of time, let's say that NFT project is going to boom, it is going to trend, and I can sell it at a very higher price. Just like in a stock market, like I am waiting for the each stock price to go up. So that is one common example for price appreciation. And most of the projects are pretty much hyped up. As you know, there are a lot of promotional campaigns being run. If you just search any word on Twitter, NFTs, like there will be a lot of projects like pumping you in DM, even on Instagram and everywhere. So this all these JPEG projects are just driven by this whole marketing effort. So please do not fall for that and ask basic questions if it is a financial gain for you, not a financial loss. So let's explore this whole topic of price appreciation, because we have two important topics attached to this particular uh, term called price appreciation. So let's understand what are the current trends of this NFT market, of the JPEGs, especially of the JPEGs where there is no utility right now. So under 90 days, the trade volume, especially, it is nothing. So you are not getting earning any one Ethereum also. So this is nothing. Even as you can see, up to 1 year, there is no financial gain. So this is a very serious factor that most of the people do not understand still now, and go in the hype market and purchase any kind of NFT, any rare NFT, may it be for artwork, may it be for any purposes. So that is one thing which you guys should look out for. So let's say these are some of these exceptional NFT projects which have come up: Bored Ape, CryptoPunks, and Christie's auctions are going on. Christie is a very huge designer there in the Europe and America region. So they are selling their own unique designs in the form of NFTs. So now these kind of projects are exceptional. Why? As you can see, the trend of these NFTs, where the financial gains are going for these particular projects up to 1 year. So there is no trade volume for them as well. So after you create a very high market, so these projects tend to grow. So it might coming starting from the range of 10 to 30 Ethereum, where the CryptoPunk and Bored Ape started to trade off, and come after couple of years, like as you can see, 2 to 3 and 3+ years volume. So they have reached more than 150 Ethereum in price of each NFT. So this, as you can see, these are very exceptional cases, and we might not see this kind of future trend in NFTs as well, especially when we consider the JPEGs. So JPEGs, like as you can see, these are the trends, and these are very really harsh truth. And especially as you can see, I'm showing this for ERC 721. So each NFT trader is very unique still. So this kind of trend is being appearing. But again, we have to be very cautious of how these things go. So NFT projects in the market right now, as I said, are heavily pumped, but with the various factors. Like marketing came the first, next promotions, and next came the influencer marketing. So these are the tools which are being heavily executed by huge investments. So that is one thing. And to tackle these kind of projects, monitor the NFT sales, like, yeah, the in 1 year trading volume of that particular NFT project, how much the value of that particular NFT has gained or has depreciated. If it is depreciated, it is going to depreciate in future. If it is gaining, and it might, unless and until it is crossing that 1 year mark or 2 years mark, it is going to be very arbitrary. It might go up or it might go down. So these are kind of a trade-off that we have to observe. Like even if you want to buy it and sell it for a higher price later, even if you want to do that kind of trade, NFT flipping, that is what we call it. So you have to be like observing these things. And best place to observe is like the marketplaces like OpenSea, and there are a lot of the marketplaces as well. So the fact that An NFT has a sale history shows someone else thought it had value, but it doesn't mean that you can buy it for slightly more and then flip it for a profit. So that is what I was telling. Even if you want to do, you can do, but it doesn't make any sense. Slightly, there might be a very slight more margin that you can. But again, these NFT valuations can collapse anytime, like maybe 1 year period or maybe 2 days period. So recent hyped up NFT projects have fallen under 2 to 3 days, even after creating hype and even after trading volume. The person who has created NFT project, he will be earning a lot of money. So let's not worry about them. So it is to worry about us, the consumers who are purchasing these kind of NFT. So we will be bearing a huge loss. So this is one key learning from this price appreciation factor. But again, there are advantages for the price appreciation if used in a right way. So we will explore that kind of opportunity in the future, in the upcoming slides. So when I say utilities, so we will just deep dive into the utilities that we might get in the future. So there is one example that the post that I'm showing on the Twitter, just I passed through by this kind of post. So this particular house contains some traits, right? As you can see, 3 bedrooms and a lot of other factors there. But it is being minted as a NFT. And as I said, when NFT comes to the main two key factors comes is the ownership and the authenticity. So here the case is ownership. So if whoever owns this particular project's NFT is literally owning a house. If you have that NFT, you are literally owning the house. This particular house costs around $175,000, which is nearly to 2 crore rupees. So this NFT, this particular house is being sold in the form of NFTs. If you are holding this NFT, you are literally holding this particular owning this house. So this can be one major huge utility in the form of NFT, because the major key factors that you can verify through this NFT is like who owned it in the past, where it came from, where is the origin from, is there any malicious activity with the papers of this property. So everything is public through the form of NFT. So this is why we say the authenticity is also a very key major factor. So this being the one example of utilities in the NFTs. But again, NFTs are also into games. But there are a lot of games which are going on play to earn games. But these play to earn games have a very broken financial structure, because the users will get the tokens of native tokens of that game. But again, they are of no value because there is no money coming inside the system, this whole financial structure of a play to earn game. So that is one very huge loophole which is going on. And we can say it is a bubble which is breaking right throughout this crypto winter. So that is also one major warning that you guys can see. But again, there are traditional companies like Starbucks who are using NFTs to give away the perks. So if you own these NFT stamps, whenever you purchase a Starbucks coffee, or you might be purchasing it over for a week, continuously for a week, so you might earn a stamp. So while collecting these stamps, will earn you real world perks and real world experiences from Starbucks itself. May it be for a tour, may it be for the offer whenever you purchase next time in the Starbucks. So these are kind of a very neutral kind of utilities that these brands are trying to provide. But again, these can go in a very stronger format as well. So we will discuss on that as well. So why be concerned? Why should we be concerned whether the NFTs uh, have the utilities or not? So this is one major question. So whenever we invest in something, we expect that to give some return in the future, because NFTs are being considered as asset class. Even the crypto tokens are being considered as asset class, and even your home, as we saw in the tweet, even that home is a real estate product, and it is also an asset class. So whenever I invest in a home down the line, 5 to 6 years, So I will be getting a price appreciation for that home. Like let's say I bought the house for 2 crores now. Maybe down the line 6 years, I might resell that home of to 10 crores to 15 crores. So that is kind of one utility that we can have. So these utilities matter because you need a financial gain. So ultimate goal of investing into something is to get the financial gain. So that is the key focus of having the utilities. There are other forms of utilities as well. Like you might be a premium member of a community, so which gives you access to holiday homes, may it be for going into five-star hotels or free of cost. So these can be other forms of utilities as well. So now, one thing, as I said, NFTs can be treated as securities. We had that in our agenda. So offerings which are offered by the NFTs, we can only be offered as security when that NFT has a very strong backing of any asset class, like government bonds. Government bonds can be split up into the forms of NFTs and can be distributed directly to the consumer. Why the government bonds are to be listed in on the blockchain? Because they can be bought normally also. There are other key factors that which we need to observe, because government bonds are issued at some price, but again they are issued in that price so that in future that this particular government which has rolled out the bonds will pay that back money, because government bonds work in a way that government wants to borrow some money, so the bank will print that particular money. It is not going to like take the money out from the citizens of the country and give it to the government, but banks will print the money and give it to the government. In return, what the government will do is issues the bonds. So how much will I be repaying? So whenever the government pays back, it will get that particular interest on that government bonds. So that is the kind of a gain. So whenever say like these papers can be manipulated, these government bonds can be manipulated as well, and so to monitor all of that kind of factors, so we can say these can be presented in a form of NFT, and the holders of these NFT can be like getting the gain through in a public channel. So it is very public. Every transaction of the government that it does, it is visible on the blockchain. So that is one thing. And the other things that we can consider as a NFT as a security is uh, for one more key factor is the real estate part. So if I want to take a loan from the bank, I just have to show the proof of ownership, right? To show the proof of ownership, there are a lot of restrictions from the banks as well. It should be owned by you. It should not be in a dispute. So all of these things and the paperwork process can be mitigated just by bringing these real estate property ownership papers onto the blockchain in the form of NFT. So banks can just go through on their own uh, through the whole transaction of this particular NFT. So this is how we consider NFTs as security. So now, coming down, which categories will be booming in the NFTs? As I said, we government bonds, the real estate properties, proof of ownership, and proof of investment in asset class. As I said, price appreciation is going to matter. So there is something called as alternative asset class. Have you guys heard about like maybe buying a very old whiskey or something? So that can be one asset where you invest. So that is a thing called as alternative asset class. If you invest in artworks like artwork of Da Vinci, so that is going to be worth more as it ages down. So that can be considered as one thing. Next is the fashion apparel. Fashion apparels might be, let's say, uh, these whole fashion industry is bringing down the design in the form of digital artwork so that it can be sold very easily. So we will explore more on that. Bills and asset management in fleet industry. So all the bills of purchasing the product and can be put on the NFTs because they hold some kind of value. And licensing of the NFTs, like may it be music, may it be artwork, or may it be anything related to the government works. So licensing can be done. Even fundraising can be done through NFTs, and as we discussed, NFTs as securities as well. So let's deep dive to a question: how can we stop counterfeiting? Of all the knowledge that you have gained from past slides, can you guys answer this question? So this is what we have. How can we stop counterfeiting?
If anybody wants to answer, please raise your hand. I'll unmute them so that you can answer.
I guess, yeah, because this is a very interesting question. Even if you guys don't know what is counterfeiting is like having these first copy products. Like I have a first copy product of a Adidas sneaker. I might be selling a first copy of a Nike shirt. As you can see, there are always sale going on in India for these kind of products. So big brands have a very hard time countering this whole business of counterfeiting.
So basically, as per my understanding, basically, how to stop, duplication of product, like master copy, what
Yeah,
you call for different product. Okay, got
yeah.
it. Okay.
So this is one major issue that we can see it as a business opportunity, because Nike has already rolled out its NFT backed sneakers designs as well, just to counter these kind of products.
Yes, I think even Crocs also had come up something similarly
Yeah,
on that.
most of the brand products are going towards NFTs for countering the uh, counterfeiting products.
I think we
I
have
guess,
an answer from
yeah,
Harsh.
we would need to have right validation methods like QR code based. Yes, that is one right direction, Harsha. So we'll be discussing more on that. I guess if anybody has a different answer from this, like it can be a chip, it can be a lot of things. I guess we do have the right answer here as well, Harsha. So, but again, we will deep dive into that. Yeah.
But I have
So,
a question.
yeah,
But
yeah.
that
So,
you can, whatever you had told, that the QR code based one, that you can do it for shoes and bags and so other thing. But how do
yeah,
you do it for t-shirts and other garments? So how do you do it?
yeah. So, t-shirts and garments, like whenever you own a piece of shirt, right? Even they have this tags.
Correct.
Barcode tags can be converted into QR code as well. But
Okay.
again, how do you manage this QR code? Because
Exactly.
as you know, the system of the barcode is for a single product, the barcode will be very same.
Hmm.
May it be manufactured in 1,000 pieces or 100 pieces, no matter what, the barcode number will be same, very unique for that particular uh, product. But it can be duplicated, right? The
Yeah.
same barcode, I can put it on a counterfeit product and it will work. So how do we counter that by the use of NFTs and blockchain? So here is the solution. A consumer like can purchase any pair of sneakers, right? Here is one example. So there is a barcode printed on that. So to own this particular sneaker, you need to buy this NFT, which is there on the any website or something. But again, that NFT holds a digital certificate for the ownership and authenticity of it. Let's say I have two keys, where they are very unique keys. Uh, but again, if we join the key, that will give the wallet address of mine. So let's say it will recover the name of me. May it be Rajat. So that key is divided. One key will be on the sneakers and one key will be with the NFT which I am holding. So whenever I go to the brand app and just scan the QR code, so it will be known that this particular manufactured shoes is specifically of this person. So this is how we identify that is counterfeit products is there or not. Like we verify the ownership as well as the authenticity. These are the two very basis for these NFT asset class. So it might be in a digital certificate, might be a JPEG, or might be anything. They might have a custom system built to verify this, just like Apple does. You can verify any Apple product by just by scanning the QR code. So, like that, similarly, brands will usually adopt to these kind of products. So, let's move on to the other thing that we discussed, right? The academics as well as the finance industry. How can we use NFTs into these particular uh, areas of the, like, as you know, academics is very booming in India. So Baiju and this White Hat Junior, so all of these guys are there. But again, let's take a very simple example like universities, right? Universities can have diploma degrees issued, but again, these certificates you don't know it is original or not. Can you say that you are having a very original degree certificate just because there is a shiny sticker on that particular certificate? Because that shiny sticker can be replicated as well. So to avoid these kind of things, what we can do is the soul bond NFTs. So soul bond NFTs, as I said, they are not transferable. As I said, once they are transferred, they cannot be transferred to anybody else. So in that way, these degree certificates and all the credentials, all the transcripts can be sent to a particular student's wallet, and they will stay there forever. It cannot be changed or transferred or modified, or in any way they cannot be altered with. So this is one thing. Soulbound tokens, like there is one more case that universities face. Like if a particular student fails one semester, maybe for any reason, so whenever you see a final marks card, so there might be a red dot, a red mark. So it is just to identify that this person has failed one semester and retaken the exams. So that brings a very bad credential history for that particular student. To avoid that, whenever he passes, he will receive the transcript of that semester. So there is no bad marking on these certifications as well. So it is both the ways beneficial, all the way for the university as well as for the student. So this is how Sol Bond token is empowering in education sector. So let's move on to next question. So let's explore the crypto industry as well. Investing in crypto is a safer financial option than traditional financial instrument. So this is a very, very important question. So anybody can answer this. Like this is a very, very, very basic question. Like as you can see, a lot of people have invested in Bitcoin. I I want you guys to start from there. Is it a good option to invest in Bitcoin than the stocks? So that is a very trade-off question. Like Bitcoin might have a very huge value, but again, stocks can also are very volatile, and crypto tokens are also very volatile. As you can see, Bitcoin has depreciated by $20,000. Is it a right uh, way to believe that it is a crypto is a very uh, similar to traditional financial instrument? I guess anybody, like if you guys have a very basic answer, it is fine. So anyhow, we will be exploring that.
I think we have an answer from Harsha.
Yeah.
So none of the financial instruments are safer. All of them have risky associated and volatility associated. It is about the risk appetite on one has and reward one is expecting. Equity at the least has an underlying asset. Crypto doesn't and purely speculative. Yeah, I think this is a right
Yeah,
answer.
it is a very overview perspective answer, Harsha. Like asset class, like if you consider stock market, right? Stock market is having the company's stock, where these companies usually trade a lot of volume by selling products, maybe exporting their products to other countries. So this has a very financial gain. So whenever the company is in profits, it will roll out something called as dividends, where you will be earning direct money from that, as well as the stock price going up. So this stock price going up and getting the dividends is directly driven by the sales of their product and all these things. But again, if you say crypto tokens, right, especially for the ERC20, like Bitcoin and these things, and especially if you consider Bitcoin, let's leave Ethereum out of it. We will consider Ethereum in another case. But Bitcoin doesn't have backing. Like if Bitcoin tokens are not sold anywhere, like are they sold for anything? Now it is going on, but again, that especially that particular crypto token is not moving around. It doesn't have any asset backed kind of thing. It is not going to grow over the period of time. All the way that it has come through for this $45,000 mark for each coin is because this hype that has been created in the crypto tokens, right? As we can see, uh, 20% of the Bitcoin is owned by some of the very big sharks who have initially purchased. But again, 7% is owned by the US government, and 2%, 3% is owned by all of the governments around the world. Basically, they have recovered as well as they have purchased as well. But again, is there any utility for that? Let's say Ethereum price might go up. Why I can say that? Because Ethereum has a lot of trading volume happening in many ways. Like maybe minting of an NFT that will drive to the price of the Ethereum, and may it be trading, may it be the applications that are being built, made because of lot of applications are being built on the Ethereum blockchain. The more people are going to purchase the Ethereum token. So these kind of products like crypto tokens are very essentially driven by the same way that stocks are going to get a price appreciation in the future, and how the dividends are being distributed. But we can say Ethereum might grow, but I don't have the guarantee for Bitcoin unless and until it is traded for physical assets, unless and until it is made as a legal tender. So Bitcoin cannot grow. So that is one thing. And another thing is coming down on the Ethereum part as well. It is not much of a transaction volume that is being done. The Ethereum blockchain is not earning out of this crypto token. So they cannot back that particular token unless and until the scarcity is created. Let's say there are 20,000 projects which are onboarding 1 lakh people. But again, the token supply is only of 20 Ethereum. So then you can say that value of the Ethereum will go up. Yeah, stable coins are like they are backed by the usual currency, and they have enough reserves to back the amount of circulation that they have in the market. But stable coins is a very different case study. Like we are just considering the whole normal crypto tokens. And how does this affect NFTs as well? Because NFT is of a more stable kind of asset, which we can consider as an asset class as well. As I said, you can have the ownership in the form of NFTs, you can have the authenticity in the form of NFTs, but again, they have a very unique value, which gives direct benefits to the holder of that particular token. And non-fungible, that word has a lot of power when it comes to this creating NFTs as an asset class. So these are all the cases that we have to consider before we invest any money into the crypto token. But if you invest wisely and thinking a lot of about the utilities in the NFTs, it might be very like, as you can say, it will bring you gains in the future than these crypto tokens. If you know, if you are investing in crypto tokens, it is better that you explore more on the stock market itself, because crypto tokens are not going to grow, maybe on any blockchain. It is not of much of a thing that we can say. The stock units are available, but crypto tokens are powered by the scarcity and the hype. So these are very bad for the asset class. So let's explore this more on the financial sector, how and what all products that can be done. One is majorly the salary dispersal. Uh, so these can be done through crypto tokens, as you said, Harsha. It can be done through stable coins as well. And one more thing is these trading and staking pools, which will earn yield out of it. But again, they are generally right now the market is like very hyped up in the staking and trading part, but it has to be backed by very serious asset or very serious utility. So then only these can work. Alternative asset investments, like you can create a pool to buy Da Vinci artwork, and they can have like 500 users, each investing $50,000. So you can buy this Da Vinci art and hold it for yourself until the price appreciation comes. When the price appreciation comes, all the unique holders of this Da Vinci asset class will be compensated according to the gains. And the real estate ownership proofs. So these are also the upcoming asset class. NFT financing, may it be renting of this NFT, may it be buy now, pay later, lending, borrowing, just like these NFT financing, right, is more of a bank. As you can see, banks provide home loans. You can have it in the buy now, pay later section, or the lending borrowing part. And you can rent it, houses can be rent directly from the banks. So that is one kind of analogy that we can create for NFT financing. And again, we have a very unique thing called as credit scoring system. For in India, I guess we have CIBIL score, and in US there is another score. So these credit scoring systems, in general, we call them credit scoring systems. So these data that which is being recorded on the blockchain can be analyzed and that data can be converted into the credit scoring system, credit score. So that will be available for every unique wallet user, that this person has a good financial record, this person doesn't have a good financial record, to create this whole analogy for each user persona, so that businesses can make use of it to avoid fraud and as well as the defaulting cases in terms of financing and invoices and invoice discounting. I guess, do you guys know what is invoice discounting? Like, anyone? Have you guys ever come across invoice discounting? That is also a very good idea to pursue in future. I'll give you guys an example. Like, uh, let's say I am selling. Okay, yeah, you are right, Harsha. Like, credit scoring system, salary dispersals does not require blockchain record. But again, we use it on blockchain just so that they are not tampered with. The data is not tampered. Like, let's say simple, right? You guys use simple to get instant loan. But again, if you don't repay, they will try to harm your credit scoring by reporting to the civil authorities. So, but again, simple is not a registered. It is not. It doesn't have the authority to a level where they can affect the civil score. But they will try to put a very bad image to civil authorities so that your credit score is being degraded. But again, it is not provided by the proof. Again, it doesn't matter for them if you are repaying the loan or not. They will send some court notices, but again, they are not going to file a case. Even if they file, they do not have the authority to disperse these kind of amounts as well in the first place. And one more answer from Anurag: you can get money from banks against sales invoices to the bank. Okay, bills discounting. Yeah, it works in a very similar way. But inverse discounting, let me give you an example. Let's say I'm manufacturing wrappers for Cadbury chocolate, just a wrapper, and selling it to Cadbury. Cadbury has outsourced that. So I have to deliver all the wrappers initially to Cadbury. Then the invoice will be generated and given to Cadbury, that I have provided this kind of this many wrappers, and you have to pay me back. But just consider the sales volume of the Cadbury chocolate, right? It requires a very huge investment, and if you don't have the proper resources, how will you pay for the raw materials? How will you pay for this employees salary, all these things? So what happens is there are secondary marketplaces where these invoices are sold. So a pool of owners can purchase these invoices, and they can claim the amount from the Cadbury directly in the future when the manufacturer completes this order. But manufacturer will get the amount right after before the delivering the product. So, but it will not. He will not be receiving the actual amount which is there on the invoice, but 20% or 10% depreciation. That is fine for the manufacturer, which he can afford, and he can pay up the salaries, and he can keep his business running. That 10% gain will be transferred to the holders of the invoice. So let's consider how you guys can innovate, because there are a lot of cases that you can consider in invoice discounting, and you can build a very huge plethora of features from this particular uh, topic, which we can see. And coming to the next domain is that apparels and textile. So what does NFT has to do with apparels and textile, right? Adidas manufactures their own T-shirt, manufactures their own uh, design made by any fashion house, right? So how can we innovate these in this apparel and design houses and textile manufacturing? Can you guys think like how NFTs can play a very huge role in this? Anybody? Because this is a very huge opportunity in apparel, and it is going to be very huge. But again, you have to understand the core business of how uh, textile industry works. Let me give you guys an example. Let's say Christie's. Christie's is a very well-known designer house in the US. Their apparels nearly sell for millions. They are sold in millions of rupees each one of the dresses. But do you think that Christie's is designing this whole apparel and manufacturing it, stitching it, and delivering it to the consumer? Do you guys really think that is the process? Like, can you guys think more on this part? Does Christie's do that on their own? Definitely, they are not doing it on their own, because Christie's don't have the time and all these resources to do on their own. Because what happens is Christie's, what they sell is may the manufacturing cost of that apparel, may the designing cost of that apparel might come at a very uh, low price, right? May it be $10,000 or something, and it is being sold for 1 million. It is the brand what they are selling. It is the whole brand value, brand identity what they have created. But these Christie's, what they do is they outsource their work to this textile industries that you have. May it be in a very industrial area that you guys might have seen. A lot of women are going for stitching work. There is a very unique concept that how this textile industry works. The designers are also inside the factory, and as well as uh, the people who manufacture the stitch it. They are also present inside the same factory. What happens is Christie's will request the designers to come up with the designs, and also if they can manufacture it or not. They select a couple of designs and give a huge order to them itself. So that is how these textile industries work. And as you can see, Christie's is not manufacturing it. Prestige is not designing it. Prestige is just reselling the unique designs developed by the other designers and selling it under their brand name. So this creates a very huge opportunity that in traditional markets you cannot just go to that textile industry and I will also like I can also do these designs. Please accept, right? So you can create your own design house anywhere in the world. You can manufacture it, but again, you provide the designs through NFTs, and Christie's can own these NFTs, like the design artwork that you can see on the screen, right? This image, this particular dress can be bought in the physical format when you burn this NFT. So NFT burning is a concept where you burn the NFT digitally so that you are getting this artwork physically, and there is no record of this particular thing, and you and only you will own this dress, and that is the how you verify the proof as well. That is one way. But again, these design houses are going to be playing very huge role, and any number of designers can come out and roll these kind of NFTs. But again, NFTs can be rolled out through the brands. It can be pushed through the brand, and the individual artist will also get credit. So that is one huge segment that you guys can think of as a business opportunity. And there are a lot of things involved when you take up the challenge of building a business in the apparels and textile. So, as you know, you are providing designs digitally, right? Whenever a consumer wants it physically, what you can think of first, the fitting of the dress. So you can create 3D models, 3D recognition systems uh, for the virtual fitting of the dress of the particular consumer. And these variables, right, they can be like uh, given in the form of costumes in metaverse ready games, right? Metaverse games. You can wear this dress in the metaverse as well. So, and there are a couple of collections, right? Collections where if you own this particular dress of this particular collection, you will be getting exclusive access to variables, private events, airdrops, engaging community parties, physical parties, and all of these can also be achieved. And artworks, right? Profile pictures, PFPs, what we call. You can have this particular dress wearing person on your profile picture, and art like another thing which you guys can think, segment which disappeared in the past, augmented reality. Let's say you are doing meeting in a 3D format wearing this particular dress. So that is basically AR. These variables can be converted into AR. So these are the kind of utilities that you can provide to this particular uh, format of NFTs in textiles and apparel. So moving on, the challenges in these NFT businesses. So one thing that we have to understand is like not everything can be migrated to metaverse, NFT, crypto tokens. There are a lot of cases that you guys can think of. There need not to be having an NFT for a apple that you want to eat. So it doesn't make any sense. So that these kind of things are also there. And scaling the NFT smart contract to handle large amount of traffic is one very challenging situation right now. As well as you guys know, as I was speaking, the marketing cost. So the marketing and pumping the NFT project is still a business. So it can take up huge amount of money. And another thing is lack of knowledge of blockchain. If you want to own an artwork or an NFT, you need to have a crypto wallet. A lot of people don't know about that. That Web3 literacy is not there. And low quality UIX is also there on many blockchain applications, as you can see. If you guys go through some very early stages of OpenSea also, it was a very bad UIX. And one more major problem is that every touch point uh, in blockchain is like costing you some money. So that is one thing which you guys should overcome. And different chains and crypto wallets. So, and user-friendly terminologies, these are some of the very well-known issues. And let's come to the benefits of these business opportunities and the areas that you guys want to explore. One is the address licensing. Uh, Licensing can be in many forms. Like uh, there might be, like, let's say you have the license to build the road, so that license can be manipulated, right? So these kind of NFTs can be rolled out. Enterprises can use these kind of NFTs and to authenticate the product and marketing purposes. So unique NFT token can be distributed to the influencers in the influencer marketing style of marketing, and digital collectives and cybersecurity has its own kind of benefit. So these are some of the benefits that we can go through. And let's say, uh, as I said, there needs to be a Web3 literacy and awareness which should be among the users so that they can build the businesses as well as to consume these kind of products. So you guys can go through these topics which I have been showing: DeFi, DAO, NFTs, metaverses. So these are the bases to start with. Even Timespro is covering these kind of courses. You guys can definitely look out for them. And another next step which you can which you guys should have about the knowledge about is like decentralized finance fundamentals, how the decentralized exchanges work, how the DAOs work, how the NFTs and metaverses are working. So these are some of the topics you guys can look out for in the Web3 literacy. So that's it, guys. Like we are done here with the session. Like if you guys have any kind of questions, we can take it up. Like any kind of questions, let's try to answer it. If you guys want to have a discussion on the topic, let's do that.
Anurag has lifted his hand. Sorry, I just Anurag, feel free to speak. I've unmuted you.
Yeah, no. Whatever questions I had, I mean, I answered some of the questions that he had.
Yeah.
I just put it on the chat window.
Okay.
Already done that.
Yeah.
That's good. That's good. So
Huge applause for Anurag and Harsha about being interactive.
yeah, Harsha
throughout
is
the session.
is one of our active community member.
Great.
So he's very active. Whenever we throw questions or we'll be very interactive. He's always available to solve doubts of folks who have those questions. So yeah, it's a great session, Rajat. Really you went in depth, so it was a detailed session. I think the time was a little bit crunched because I thought for this session we need 2 hours. So we can do a one more session as a series of session going forward.
Yeah.
So it was a good session. In fact, even I didn't knew so much of about NFT. So after in fact, whenever I used to go to shopping mall, I used to see a couple of NFT stickers. Then I realized, okay, these are the things they are trying to make authenticate. So Anurag, no, I think
Yes, Anurag raised hand.
sorry, you raised hand. Okay. Yeah, Anurag, you can unmute.
I have a question. What is the technology platform that is used in trying to develop these blockchain technologies? What's the actual technical platform that is used?
Okay. So one thing that we need to understand here is there are various blockchains. So Solana and Ethereum. I will take these two blockchains to answer your question.
Right.
So Ethereum is powered by Ethereum virtual machine. So it is kind of a computer that interacts with the blockchain. Blockchain is nothing but a ledger or a database where you cannot change the data once it is being entered. To interact with that, they use a language called Solidity to interact with that Ethereum virtual machine. So that it again interacts with the blockchain. They use Solidity as a base language, any programming language you can say. So that is used to communicate and build this kind of contracts, like build the NFT from the scratch, build the ERC20 token, build the smart contracts on Ethereum. Same way it goes for Solana, but Solana, the whole platform is very different. So they have made uh, the blockchain system in a way where the transaction takes very less amount of time to be executed and distributed among all the records which are being holded in the throughout the blockchain. And their base language is the Rust. So Rust is another language which they use to develop the smart contracts, NFTs, ERC20 tokens, Ethereum, like all those things. So Solana is a very different ecosystem. Ethereum is a very different ecosystem. Again, Ethereum as a base, there are multiple blockchains called as Arbitrum, Optimism, Polygon. So these kind of set of EVM based blockchains, you can deploy it in a couple of minutes. If you develop it on one chain, which is EVM based, you can deploy it on all the supportive blockchains. But again, Solana is a very different blockchain. You need to develop separately for that.
So are these proprietary platforms?
These are not proprietary platforms. They are pretty much open source. You can modify EVM according to your own.
Okay.
We call it as nodes. So you can do like anything you want. But again, you cannot do any malicious activity. If you do that, you will be kicked out of the blockchain ledger system. So there are a lot of multiple copies of single data which is being stored across. If you try to manipulate it according to yourself, so you will be kicked out of the system.